We're seeing a crack between some of his top advisors and his MAGA base.
O que falar da comida de rua indiana?
You graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically, as part of your diploma, a green card.
Muito conhecida pela sua higiene.
Welcome to the Civil War on the right. Trump, MAGA, is at war with MAGA. Welcome to John Mike Keane. This is the first big fight. I believe in the end we will be unified, so not a big deal, but I thought I'd fill you in on the massive controversy going on online right now.
We're seeing a crack between some of his top advisors and his MAGA base. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are both facing major blowback from their own supporters for not only backing, but encouraging offering more visas to highly skilled foreign workers. Over the Christmas holiday, Musk posted this online saying, think of this like a pro sports team. If you want your team to win the championship, you need to recruit top talent wherever they may be. He later added, I'm referring to bringing in, via legal immigration, the top 0.1% of engineering talent as being essential for America to keep winning.
Now that is the controversy. It is ginormous. I'm going to break it down for you and give you tons of news. You'll be ahead of all your friends. Do we want just a bunch of smart people? And when Trump ran on protecting American jobs, and now he's saying we're going to import geniuses from India to help fill our tech positions. And of course, that's a big issue with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Remember, they're in a honeymoon period. Everyone loves them for doing DOGE and straightening out our government. And now their big tech side opened up and exposed themselves on Christmas Day when they said we have to import a bunch of people from other countries who are geniuses. Now, here's one of my favorite right-wingers, Mike Davis over on X, saying, Dear Elon and Vivek, I'm a big fan of yours. Friendly suggestion, stay in your lane. That is, stay in DOGE and reform the government. Don't get into policy with your big tech billionaire status. That's the divide. The divide is being called Tech MAGA, that is big tech MAGA, and we have a lot of them coming over and supporting Trump, and they believe they're powerful because they're rich. And then MAGA, those of us who are dumb MAGA. I'm in dumb MAGA, so I don't want the big tech guys coming in. That's the dumb MAGA position. By the way, the only person in Trump's administration that is taking dumb MAGA's side is J.D. Vance, and I believe it's because of his background in hillbilly elegy. We are dumb MAGA. We don't need to bring in big tech people from other countries. Now, it's a huge division, so you're allowed to, I want you to weigh in the chat below. Tell us what you think. Take a vote. Are you for importing brilliant people from India so that we can win the tech race? This is specifically going to overlap about AI. I'm going to give you all kinds of news about artificial intelligence, AI, but we have to win that tech battle of AI to beat China.
He's talking about H-1B visas, which allow employers to hire highly skilled foreign workers. Musk, who himself is from South Africa, said that he once had this kind of visa, and he's arguing that Silicon Valley is facing a shortage of excellent engineering talent, as he put it. But the annual cap on those kinds of visas right now is at $65,000, with another $20,000 for those who get a master's or a doctorate in the U.S. Musk is being backed up by his partner in Trump's government efficiency initiative, Vivek Ramaswamy. He says it's a cultural issue that there aren't more competitive engineers in the U.S. Here's what he said online. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World or Zach and Slater over Screech and Saved by the Bell or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers.
Now that's an attack on us and our culture. I'm just going to show you this street food being made in India. How did this place create the world's best mathematicians when they cook literally on the sidewalk with their dirty hands? I don't want to be racist.
In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. So I'm not joking.
I'm not making a race joke. I love watching these India food channels over on Facebook is where I watch them. It is so, for me, it's like food being made on another planet. I love you, India. I love curry, but I just watch this stuff and go, just when you look at their street food, then you go, this is also the culture that is creating the world's top mathematicians. Guys, how are we going to import this into America? Are we going to make India great again because they're doing something right with math?
But that argument is not going over well with Trump's MAGA base, certainly not online. Some of them saying, we did not ask them to engineer an immigration policy. Tech wants indentured servants, not high-skilled workers. You don't even know what MAGA immigration policy is. Now, Trump himself, who I should note restricted H-1B visas in his first term, has said on the campaign trail this time around that he did want to make it easier for educated foreigners to work in the U.S.
What I want to do and what I will do is you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically as part of your diploma a green card to be able to stay in this country. And that includes junior colleges too. Anybody graduates from a college, you go in there for 2 years or 4 years. If you graduate or you get a doctorate degree from a college, you should be able to stay in this country.
Now, that's a very strange standard to me. It's basically creating a new kind of anchor baby. It's a high-tech, well-educated anchor baby. If you're illegal and you're going to our college, he'll give you a green card to work here. I'm having a hard time with this, is all. I'm having a hard time with Vivek. I'm a huge fan of Trump, Vivek, Elon Musk. We love them, but we're admitting defeat. We're admitting we're stupid and we're not going to get smarter. And by the way, the answer is being proposed, just educate Americans. Do Americans even want to be educated anymore? Do you know how hard it is to learn math? I'm 58 years old. I'm a comic book artist. I'm the dumbest mathematician in the world. So to me, it's like, are you going to educate me out of being a comic book artist and an animator? If I want a job, I have to go and learn math, which is impossible. How many of you are good at math?
I think with all due respect to Mr. Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, they should focus on saving federal dollars for the taxpayers and not immigration policy. I understand some of the points that Catherine made, and I agree to an extent, but I think the U.S. should focus more on domestic skill development. Studies also show that H-1B exacerbates employers hiring individuals from outside of the country when they could potentially hire minorities, for an example, which we know there's a shortage in the STEM fields. There are a significant number of Americans who I think would love opportunities if they had the proper training and skills.
I don't think Americans want to be educated. I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. But we're soft. The greatest generation came out of the Depression. The Depression crushed us so bad, it put a work ethic in the American belly that made us into a generation of workaholics that made America great in World War II. We came out of World War II and there was a mass explosion in our economy of building houses, of just doing bread and butter jobs, man. Americans were workaholics. My dad could swing a hammer, build, work all day. That's not how you get ahead anymore, guys. Now you become a influencer on Instagram. Now you just hoard crypto, collect crypto. You just become an influencer in crypto. You just be a big tech mathematician. And if you swing a hammer, if you put on roofing, you're going to get out-jobbed by every Hispanic illegal that we hire. They want to work. We don't want to do those jobs. I hate to say it. We do not want to pick vegetables. I'm sorry. Are any of you hoping that your grandkids grow up to be a field worker, picking vegetables for a farmer? And make what? Is he supposed to make $50,000 a year to pay for his home? Guys, make this economy make sense to me. We are so mutated and deformed because what we work, we're not paying for what we value. And now there's a giant high-tech layer on top of everything, creating a giant, rich, huge working class over in Silicon Valley. And that's where Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, that's where they've operated their whole life. And I don't think they get it. I think when Elon Musk was sleeping on the floor of Tesla with his line workers on the factory, that's when he was closest to the American worker. That's J.D. Vance, growing up in hillbilly elegy. And there's a divide right now in MAGA between the brainiac rich and the working class poor. We both got Trump to the finish line together. We couldn't have done it without Elon Musk, and Elon Musk could not have done it without the muscular working class behind Trump, the poor black voters, let's say. And now we're divided. We have to unite behind some kind of an agenda. And I don't want to just be a golly gee, let's all work together. We're still looking for answers.
I'm not of the support or mindset, Caitlin, that we should let in more than the 60,000+ that were already let into the country. Do we have some deficits? I certainly understand that point, again, to what Catherine was sort of alluding to. But I think by focusing on increasing domestic skill development, you can decrease the furtherance of those deficits by virtue of saying, you know what, we're going to spend more of our time, more of our dollars educating our own citizens to compete for these jobs versus saying, let's increase to 100,000 or maybe even more for employers to bring in individuals from India, which is a predominant country where many of them come from. I don't agree with that at all. And I think folks in the MAGA world have every right to be angry with Vivek and Elon Musk.
I take the side of America first. I don't think we absolutely have to win a tech war in the future. I think that is optional. That's where my values are. There's worse things than losing a tech war. People act like the tech war is like the periodic table, like we have to follow this fact and win this tech war. I like Americans, and I have farming in my blood from being raised in Turlock and Denair, the San Joaquin Valley, the people that pick fruit, and I worked with those illegals in the fields. I love them. But the idea that we're through with educating ourselves, building our own brain trust to be self-sufficient, if we're not smart enough to create a ton of mathematicians, guys, we're in trouble and we're screwed. And we're not great. You can't make America great again by importing what's great about India, their education system, or China or Japan. They're brilliant mathematicians. The DEI has destroyed the American economy. We have to wipe all that out. But now you know the lay of the land. Now you know the debate. I'm John Mike Keene.